Welcome everyone to another video on the Karting Tips channel, and this is episode 1 of How to Hot Lap. The How to Hot Lap series is where we'll be taking the different corners that you tend to find on a standard go-kart track, whether it being a hairpin, a chicane, perhaps even an S section, and we'll be dedicating an individual episode to each corner. In these episodes, we'll be exploring the different racing lines, overtaking lines, and defending lines. So whether you're a novice who wants to beat your friend at a go-kart race, or a pro kart racer who has an upcoming competitive race, you'll leave this video with some useful tips and tricks. Right, so episode 1 is about the hairpin corner, and interesting fact is that the name hairpin corner comes from the accessory, which is a hairpin. And as we can see on the right hand side of this split screen image, the end of the hairpin accessory actually resembles the real life hairpin which we race on in real life. So pretty cool fun fact of the day, thought I'd just add that in there. The racing line is the ideal route to take around the racetrack. If you follow it correctly, it will enable you to achieve the fastest lap time. Now the racing line will vary from track to track due to the different corners that you tend to find. However, the main principle and useful speed secret to follow is that corner speed is proportional to the corner radius. Now this isn't rocket science at all, because it simply means that the more speed you carry through a corner, the larger the radius of the corner must be. Alternatively, the tighter the radius of the corner, the slower you must drive. Simple enough, right? Driving through a hairpin corner using the largest possible radius means following what we call the geometric line. This is the line that you would draw with a compass, using up every inch of the track surface, from outside edge to inside edge, and back out to the outside again. And as we can see on this hairpin diagram above, it resembles exactly what we're talking about. So we've approached the hairpin from the outside of the track, we've cut in and apexed in the middle, which is also known as the inside edge, and we've exited the corner back to the outside of the track again. The geometric line is the most simple and standard way to take a hairpin turn. So if you're a beginner, you may want to experiment with this racing line at a hairpin turn when you go out on track. However, the geometric line can be refined, and it's refined to what we call the ideal line. This second line will result in an overall faster lap time. And as we can see on the diagram above, it's a typical 180-degree hairpin turn, showing 3 of the most important reference points. So we'll go through them. You have the turn-in point over here, you have a late apex, and you have the exit point where you ideally want your kart to be. So why is the ideal line the fastest way to take a hairpin turn? On the racetrack, you're not just dealing with one particular corner, but rather a series of corners connected by straightaways. Straightaways quite literally mean the straight after the corner. Considering this, plus the fact that you will spend more time accelerating on a racetrack than you will just cornering, superior exit speed is far more important than cornering speed. Never forget that the driver who accelerates first out of a corner will arrive first at the other end of the straight, and most often the finish line. It doesn't matter how fast you go through the corner. If everyone passes you on the straight, you won't win the race. Drive the corner in such a way to maximize your straightaway speed. Races are won on the straightaway and not in the corners. Now you're probably thinking, mate, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Well, fear no more, because we're going to cut to some savage onboard karting scenarios where we're going to show that the ideal line is not only the best way to take a hairpin corner, but also how you can overtake on the hairpin turn. Cutting on board to the old Lucille karting circuit layout, we go to the outside line, we cut in to do a late apex, onto the straightaway we go, and we're ahead. Yes, we are ahead, just like that. Right, we're going to have to slow it down. So behind the guy in the green t-shirt as we approach this left-hander, and we're going to take a nice and tight apex to gain a lot of momentum onto him. And at this point he looks behind and sees that we're within striking distance of him. But that's not going to phase us, because we need to stick to the ideal racing line for this upcoming hairpin, which means that we need to go to the far part of the track as we can see here, using up absolutely all of the track available to us, nothing separating the left-hand side of the kart and the outside barriers. But this will set us up perfectly to take a late apex and to gain superior traction and a better run than the guy ahead to overtake him. And as we can see, we've once again gone right up to the barriers to gain the maximum traction and to have the best available run to overtake him. And we get the better run, and we're just going to leave him for absolute dust, and we've sent him to the Shadow Realm, as one Super GT would say. By Shadow Realm, I do mean the KTips version, which is basically overtaking the kart racer in the cleanest and quickest time possible, because if I did just ram into him, I'd probably get a lifetime ban at this karting circuit, which would not be ideal. Now we're going to go back to the drawing board for one last time and explain how you can hopefully pull off a similar type of overtake. The guy on the green line is defending against the guy on the red line, and the way he's going to do this is by taking a tighter angled geometric line for this upcoming hairpin corner, whereas the guy attacking on the red line is going to take a late apex, which is the ideal line and what we saw on the previous video clip. So as they approach this hairpin corner, the guy on the red line has taken up all of the track available to him and is hoping to turn in to take a late apex, whereas the guy on the green line is hoping to take a middle apex and exit the corner on the outside part of the track. And on the next clip we can see the guy on the green line has apexed and is heading towards the outside of the track, whereas the guy on the red line has now picked up that magical traction zone and is hoping to get the best run through the hairpin. So as he apexes, he gets the better run and is ahead, and has left the guy on the green line pretty much to rethink the reason why he's actually at the kart track in the first place. So to conclude this first episode, we'll recap the main points which we discussed. If you're a beginner, stick to the geometric line, since it's the most simple way to take a hairpin turn. If you're at a more advanced level, stick to the ideal line, making sure you're maximizing your straightaway speed. By doing this, you'll gain a huge amount of lap time just in one single straight. Finally, don't overthink the whole procedure of taking a hairpin turn. Of course, it may sound complex to you, but naturally, the more you practice, the better you'll become at it. Experiment what's best for you at the kart track which you race at, because track conditions can play a factor. And with that, guys, we'll conclude this first episode of How to Hot Lap. Let me know in the comments which corner we should cover next. Be sure to share the video with your friends. Obviously, you don't want to share it with your racing rivals. But until the next video, guys, keep karting and carry on.